What is good, mi gente? Welcome back to another episode of the Bigs Fuego y Sonrisa podcast.
Yo.
Today, guys, we have a very special guest. You may have seen him in elementary school, maybe in middle school, maybe in high school, or maybe he changed your life for the best. Everybody, please give a round of applause for Efren Garcia. Hey!
Let's go, man. Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for coming out here, man.
Yeah, it's no problem. All good. Here to talk and.
No, go ahead.
Is it?
I just want to check the mic levels. Yeah. We're good.
We're good.
We're cool.
Yeah.
Just go.
All right. Yeah. Just here, ready to start the podcast. See what's in store.
So,
you know.
Yeah, definitely. So what's up, man? How's everything?
Yeah.
Good. I mean, I just recently moved back to Concord, in July. Yeah, July. So it's been just a couple of months here, restarting like a new life. So
Ayo.
things are good, you know.
I'm just kind of curious. What made you leave Concord, and what made you come back?
Well, I met a lady.
Oh shit!
There
we go. Nice.
A lady. We actually met through Bumble.
Okay.
Oh, shout out.
Shout out to my wife Susie.
Shout out to Susie.
We met online, and it's like I never thought I would find true love online on the internet, but I guess it's like the normal thing now. It's like, we hit it off.
Yeah.
We went on a couple dates, and it just never stops. It's like every weekend. She's from Petaluma. I'm from Concord.
Oh, that's dope.
That's how-
So
yeah, that's dope.
it's became like such a hassle to we gotta travel all the time. She would come during the week. And then I would go on the weekends, and it's just like so much traveling back and forth. We just decided to live, get together, and we were lucky enough that our in-laws hooked us up with, a room. We lived there for a while, and we saved up some money, and now my wife found a job, and we're in Concord now. So.
Hey, that's cool, man. That's a cool story.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Long story short, right? That's kind of like
that's good.
how it went down,
Yeah. But definitely. So last time we seen each other was like high school when we graduated. I would say you guys graduated first because I graduated 2011. Shout out to the fifth years out there.
I'm pretty much a fifth year too, bro. I got held back in 6th grade, so. I was like a 4th year middle schooler, you know what I'm saying?
That's super. What is it called?
I don't know.
I was like super senior, but I just
that's only applicable to me. Oh man. Yeah, man. So give a little background for yourself, man. Like, how's everything? How you been? What do you do for work? Like, what's going on?
Well, I mean, for work, I work at a door shop in
sick.
Richmond, so I commute to Richmond every day. I work with doors and windows there. It's a whole new type of way of doing things in this company. We got a CNC machine, which is like one of the first machines in the West Coast. Mm-hmm. So no other door company in the East Coast, or the West Coast, has one of these machines. Mm-hmm. And so the company, we're still learning as we're going. Mm-hmm. So it's all fairly new stuff, but everything's done on tablets. So it's like...
What the heck?
Oh, wow.
They need younger people to be in there. I mean, not that we have older people running it too, but it's like easier to train someone that has a little bit more knowledge with a little bit of technology, on top of that. But we also, it's like you need both. So you need carpentry experience, a little bit of door experience, and it kind of goes hand in hand. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's a whole new thing, and we're just doing what we can.
Cool.
So I've been doing that. I mean, I worked at an old school door shop in Oakland. Before that, I worked at another door shop in Concord. Oh. So I just took the trade of carpentry and did that. I've been doing that. Luckily I got, brought in by someone that taught me everything that I know, and it was free. I didn't have to go to any school. The guy took me in, and
that's the best way to learn.
I learned. I didn't even know how to hold a nail gun when I first started. So.
I probably don't even know either.
Yeah. So it's nice to be good with your hands, do a little bit of handy work here and there. So
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
because like I'm pretty sure we talked about like the benefits of going to trade school. Like for myself, I feel like trade school is more, alright, it depends who you are, but I think it's more better towards. But it's better than going to like a regular college or spending so much on a degree that you're gonna be like.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think there's more than one way, and I think we need to normalize that for students. You know,
especially for men, I think trade is like super underlooked. I mean, because you know, when you're a kid, everybody tells you, oh yeah, go to college, but they never tell you you can be an electrician, you can be a plumber, you could be all those, and those are really good. And if anything, we're gonna need more of those because a lot of guys, just modern guys, a lot of them don't know how to do simple things like fixing. You know,
sink.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So we're gonna need more of that in the future. So hopefully,
I think so. I think everyone's starting to. Sorry to cut you off, but I think some people are just looking to go into tech or go into all these other jobs that it's leaving less carpenters. There's less people to do handyman type work.
Oh, wow.
You know, in my opinion, I think that's what's going on, and then there's less and less people doing trade. You know, in plumbing or carpentry or whatever. So I think it's a choice that people should have, and not just get a 4-year college drilled into your brain. You know, like that's what you need.
Yeah, I think it also depends on like what you study, right? So if you study like art, a degree, I mean, let's be honest, you're not really gonna find a lot of jobs in art, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard to find a job. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not, but it's the amount of people that are very small. Versus like carpentry or roofing or stuff like that, where there's a very high demand of that because you're always gonna need your house fixed. You're always gonna need something fixed. So yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, and it's a good like plan B. Like if you pursue like let's say for example you get a trade or you go to school, you get a trade job to be electrician, but you want to pursue like a entrepreneurship type of job, something different away from it. At least you still have that in case that doesn't work out. You can still have a high-paying job.
That's a good point. And you got skills.
Yeah.
Those are really good skills to have anywhere. Once you have the skills, man, you can take those skills wherever you want.
Oh yeah.
That's where the jobs pay you. They pay you based on skills and competence, right?
It's true. And how much you can improve too.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah. I'm going to France, everybody. From there, if you want to talk about elementary school, go ahead. Just to give a little break.
I went to Meadow Homes Elementary School.
Shout out.
Grew up with a bunch of kids from the neighborhood, and with that comes you grow together. There's a lot of influences in your life, good ones, bad ones. There's gangs involved. So when we hit middle school, things change, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've been hanging out with these kids for a long time, your whole life, and then all of a sudden you get to school, and then there's gangs involved. So, I can't hang out with these people because I grew up with these people, even though you're not gang related. You are automatically put into this group. So that's how I felt how it was in middle school, and it sucked because you did want to be friends with these guys, but you couldn't because you were affiliated with these other guys.
Yeah.
So then, by the time we hit high school, it was I was like, this is dumb. I want to have friends. So I kind of just left, almost pushed those friends away, focused on football and other things, right?
Nice. Mm-hmm.
And I played, I did football for a few years. So, I mean, I feel like that happens a lot in any neighborhood, where it's you're kind of put into a group. Growing up.
It's funny that we're talking about this because in the last podcast we talked about sometimes we gotta let go of people that we grew up with just because in the beginning it starts off as a cool friendship, but then one person goes one way, the other person goes another, and no matter how much you try, no matter how much effort, maybe you try to help the person out, maybe you try to be there, and they're still making bad decisions.
Yeah.
You kind of have to let them go, and it sucks because you want the best for them, but at the same time, if you don't do something for yourself, you don't have to be, smashing windows or whatever to go to jail. You can just be the getaway driver,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of funny that we're talking about this right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think people that you grew up with are the first people to let you down, in my opinion.
Oh wow, that's powerful.
And from experience as well, and then also it's something that people don't want to talk about, but your family too. Your family is the first ones to doubt you, the first ones to speak bad about you or not support you or like.
Yeah, try to bring it down.
It's true, and it's like it's a hard topic to talk about, but I think we need to let people know that it happens more if it's happening to you, it's happening to everyone else too, and I've learned that as well, and we'll get into that maybe a little bit later once we move on from the high school days. I'll get into that a little bit later with a situation with me. I probably won't use any names, but we'll get into it. But yeah, in high school. You know, going back to that is, you know, football. I got hurt playing football.
Oh damn!
And I don't know, man. I feel like I was known as like I partied a lot.
Oh snap!
You know, I smoked weed a lot. I fucking did a lot of drugs. You know, openly talk about that. And it's like again influences. Like you leave some influences, but then you go into something else, and I feel you get lost. You don't know who you are in high school. When you're young, you definitely don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, hell no.
You know, you have no idea. You're not thinking about
nothing.
5 years from now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And the thing is, you become a product of habit, and so you have these habits. We graduate high school, and I made some good friends, but I also knew that after high school, I was hanging out with people that I like cared about a lot, and I'm not friends with at the moment. Like we're cool, but we were also like waking up at like 7 a.m. and going out and drinking like after high school. It'd be 7 a.m. We'd be going and getting 40s and we'd be drinking all day. You know what I'm saying? Which was cool. Like I had a good time.
I mean, I like those. I'll give you real. I like those.
I don't regret those. You know, maybe
but
now.
I feel you. But I feel you.
I don't regret, like those moments made me who I am right now, but it's like, you know, at what cost? Because this followed me throughout my 20s by the time I was 22, I had high blood pressure. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure.
Wow.
And then, you know, I was trying to like lose weight. So I was working out and I got into pretty good shape, but I was also like, all right, I was going to the gym, I was lifting weights. But then I was also partying hard from like Thursday to Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, like how much better could I have gotten without all of that? Because it was like you're killing your body, and so I did that. I was going to raves. I was partying. I was popping pills. I was doing everything. You know, I was like
living
down. But at the same time, I was always responsible with my work.
Yeah, sick.
So I partied hard, but I worked hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's good.
That's cool.
I never let my job down, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was up till 2 a.m. and I had to be at work at 6, I was there at 6. You know what I'm saying? I was up at 6, I was ready to go. Like I never let it overtake, and like I think a lot of people don't do that. That also depends on like how you were raised, you know what I'm saying? So I was raised also to work hard.
That's dope.
So
very self-disciplined.
So this is life of partying and, you know, drinking and doing all of this craziness led to high blood pressure. And then it also led to having problems with my liver.
Oh shit.
So then I have liver issues, which also developed into like diabetes. So then I'm 26, 27, diagnosed with diabetes, and then my liver enzymes are like climbing. So I'm like, all right, now I have to take an extra pill. But then, you know, it's like, all right, but on the weekends I'm not going to take them because I still want to party. So then you get this warning shot, you don't take it seriously, and then you keep on partying. And so then you go to the doctor again, you get more blood work, and then all of a sudden you've worsened. And you've gotten worse. You keep on getting worse to the point where it was time I had to do something because my liver enzymes were like, I think like 6 times higher than they were supposed to be.
Oh, wow.
So like
fatty
liver, I had fatty liver. I was just like all the partying, probably I'm pretty sure drugs, everything was just catching up to me, and it wasn't worth all of that. You know, what am I gonna do? You know, I started thinking a lot. I reflected a lot on life. You know, I reflected a lot on like what's gonna happen to me in the future. Do I want to get married? Like it's like all these things hit me.
Wow.
So I had like a huge reflection year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Maybe if I missed it in there, then correct me if I missed it in there. What was the conversation? What was the actual moment that you can recall where you accept that? Like you said, this is it. I'm out. Like how did that go?
Well, my grandpa passed away from drinking.
Drinking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but it's like something that you kind of already see it coming. Like when someone's an alcoholic, it's like you can't. They won't do anything unless they do it for themselves.
Yeah.
Anyone that's on drugs, you won't do it for your children. You won't do it for your wife. You won't do it for a girlfriend. You won't do it for your family. You do it for yourself. And so seeing my grandpa like pass away from going into a diabetic coma from drinking for like a week straight without medication or nothing, no food, just alcohol.
Oh, damn.
So that caused his coma, and I was just thinking, that made me reflect a lot on like where is this where my life is headed, and is it headed there? My grandpa was 77, 76, so he was an older cat. But does this mean is this gonna happen to me at 50? Is this gonna happen to me at 40? Am I gonna die next year? Like where am I taking myself? Where am I going with this lifestyle that I'm carrying?
Yeah.
And on top of that, like I ballooned up to like 315 pounds.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, it was like
bad.
heart attack. I was a walking heart attack, bro. Like I was like doing doing all these drugs and drinking all the time, and like that's no good for your heart.
And plus you're not sleeping. You're probably your anxiety's probably through the roof. It's like all of everything just kind of.
Yeah. So at like I'm 30 right now. At 27, like 2018 was when I was like I stopped drinking. I was like I'm gonna stop drinking, and I would have like let's say I kept on going out, but I would have like water, maybe a sugar-free Red Bull, and I was still going out, still wanted to have fun with my friends, and you can do that. It's just willpower. Like how many people are able to not have alcohol. So not everyone can do it. So just because I can do it doesn't mean everyone else has.
Yeah.
They have to stay away.
Yeah. Very self-disciplined.
And so it was hard. It was like a lot of ups and downs, a lot of things that I failed a lot of times. I relapsed a couple times. It's like not easy, but it's doable. You just have to fight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Continuous fight.
Yeah.
So what you're fighting for, right?
Yeah. For your life, man. You're doing this for your health. How much longer do you want to live? And so, with that, it's like I started looking at how can I improve my diabetes. So then, getting my blood work done every 3 months was a must. As much as I fucking hated it's like it's just time. It takes an hour. It's not bad.
Yeah.
You go in, you wait, and now with appointments, you maybe wait 20 minutes. But like let's say I went in with no appointment, it would take like an hour. It's an hour out of your day to see where you're at with your health.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Most people have to go once a year. I was going every 3 months because my liver was so bad. They just wanted to keep track of me to make sure I was going down. And like there was peaks. There was like even when I stopped drinking, there was peaks where I would go down and I would spike up a little bit. Like my liver would go bad a little bit. It's because I was eating like shit. And so then it was like it's taken me 2 years to figure out my diet, like what works for me with my diabetes. So that's why I'm drinking Coke Zero. I'm drinking. I have a lot of sugar-free drinks. I do a lot of everything that is 0 calorie. Like I look for all the 0 calorie stuff. I look for everything like that. And it's taken me 2 years to figure out what my diet is that fits me for life. Not just like it's not a fad. It's not keto. It's not vegetarian. It's not vegan. Like I love to eat, bro. Like I love burgers. I love I still go and have Taco Bell or Burger King, but I'm getting a burger with fries, not a burger, a McChicken, and like a fry and then an apple pie. Like I'm just getting my burger and my fry and like a 0 calorie drink.
Damn, sick.
Because in the soda, this is 0 calories. You get a 12-ounce drink. That's 150 calories.
Oh, shit.
180 calories depending on your drink. Extra in your diet. You have 4 sodas a day. That's a bunch of empty calories in your diet that you're just taking in, and it's just creating a bad.
Yeah. It's a bad man's coming.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh man. Man, right on. Appreciate all that.
Right on for you having that self-discipline, man. I think a lot of people, when you put them in a certain environment, like they would have just relapsed right away. You know what I'm saying? But you still have that willpower to still say, you know what, my health and my life is worth it, and I'm still gonna have some fun, but I'm not gonna go to the point where I'm gonna put myself, in a worse situation. So I give you a lot of props for that.
Thank
because
you.
that shit is not easy.
It's
like,
not.
Yeah.
It's not. But it's doable. It's
Yeah.
attainable, and if you do it, like I'm letting everyone know that you can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can better your life in good ways.
Damn.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, my next question is, how do you feel about, or why do you think men don't check on themselves as often as they should?
For
Like
my
medical
opinion,
wise.
like from seeing like people in my life, or like people, like even some of my coworkers that are older Latin men, or just men in general. Everyone wants to be the alpha male. Everyone thinks that they're Superman. Everyone thinks that nothing can happen to them, and I feel good. I'm good. Like, you're feeling good. You're looking good, but you're rotting inside. Your body on the inside is just crumbling. You're like, you think that you're the shit, but your insides are probably shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like literally like you don't know. Like, there's some people that don't go to the doctor ever.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't ever go. Let's keep it real, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, bro. I mean, like, I'm not here to, like, put you guys down.
No, we don't even
no,
take it like that.
It's something that
yeah.
it's okay. It doesn't make you weak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people think it makes them weak, but some people do. Or they're scared to find out that something's wrong.
Ooh, that's a good one, yeah. That
And
fear.
it's true,
yeah.
because that's why I would hate going to the doctor, because I didn't want bad news. But I already knew I was like, my whole life it's been like I've been bad news. So I was just like, it's like I need to figure out like how to make good news.
Mm.
So I mean, you go in, like I said, you talk to your. It's hard to be open with just talking. That's another thing is like men don't like to talk about their problems with people.
Yeah, they always like brush it aside or just to be vulnerable. I feel
Yeah.
men. I feel a lot of people, but I feel like men they hold back being vulnerable, which I think it hurts in the end.
It's a crazy thing though, because as men, I mean, I can only talk about the United States, but there's this culture of like, you gotta put yourself up by the bootstraps, you gotta get to work, you gotta provide for your family, which a lot of it is good in a sense.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes overboard where it's like, you're supposed to be stoic, you're never supposed to show an emotion, you're never supposed to tell people how
No
you-
weakness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
supposed to be this Superman for everybody, and in reality, that's probably the worst thing to do, because you're, if you don't take care of certain things, whether it's your mental health, your physical health, your financial health, everything, if you don't take care of yourself and you find people that are with you, you can go down a path that's very, hard to get out of. But it's possible. It just takes a lot of work.
Mm.
So you gotta find, like-minded people. Try to talk to people and take care of each other.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to that, or mental health too. Like
Yeah.
we don't know what traumas even our parents have.
Yeah.
They don't talk about their issues.
Yeah.
Like they just work. That like all I remember was my dad working.
Yeah.
That's it. Like everyone works, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
we work, we pay bills, like, and then like I don't know what you guys think about like people who overwork. Like
what do you mean, like hustle culture?
Like workaholics.
Like hustle culture?
Like
or what do you mean?
workaholics. Like let's say you're working, you got your 9 to 5, let's say Monday through Friday. Let's just keep it at that, Monday through Friday or whatever. Your schedule's 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
You end up picking up a Saturday, and then you're also on top of that you're working like extra like 3 hours overtime, like like 5 days a week. Like what kind of life is that for people? Like, do you think that's healthy? Just because of money? Like how much do you value money?
I think in the Bay Area, it's hard. We're talking, it's the Bay's podcast. So for us, because I see a lot of people struggle because, I mean, the cost of living out here is fucking crazy.
Yeah, freaking
if you talk about anywhere else in the world, or anywhere else like in the United States, if you can go to Florida, you can buy. So I went to Florida for a training, right, for my new job, and I talked to this guy who used to live in the city, and he used to live like close to where the financial district is. He was making cool money. He was making cool money. But he was paying like $2,100 for like a little studio.
Yeah.
And then he said he moved to Florida, and with that money he bought a house that has 5 beds, 3 baths, and he's renting every single room. And now he has like three houses, and he does like Uber for fun.
Shout out Florida.
And you know what I'm saying?
That's the way to do it.
And he's living, and he works just because he wants to work. I mean, he likes to work, not because he wants or has to. And so the cost of living out here in the Bay Area is so crazy. Like in terms of like housing, like if you think about the 3 top things that you're gonna spend your money on, it's gonna be on housing, it's gonna be on food, and it's gonna be on transportation. And all 3 of those things, you know, you can't really even find a studio for like less than $1,800.
Yeah.
Food out here is crazy. Like it's more expensive than anywhere else. And then transportation. You talk about gas, and you talk about, you know, it always goes up every year.
Yeah.
So I think to your point, people right now I think are just trying to survive, and so they're having a hard time trying to figure out. I want to live, not survive.
Yeah.
How do I live? You know.
Well, also, like, the reason I say it is because you value money, or you value time with your family as well. Like, there needs to be a balance. Am I right? But
definitely.
And also, like, let's say you're a person that makes like $40,000 a year, right? But you want to live like someone that's making $60,000 a year.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah,
that's already hella bad.
So like, what kind of and like, I mean, I feel like we can all maybe at some point in our lives try to do that without knowing. Like we don't know. Like, okay, I want the new car, I want this. I just got to raise my job, so I'm gonna do that. So now all the money that you get a raise for, you're spending it on stuff that does it matter?
Yeah.
It's like a buddy of mine, which will remain unnamed.
Nameless. Yeah.
He's making a ton of money living in Texas, Houston,
sick.
Texas.
Nice.
He's making like let's say over $100,000, but he's struggling
Oh, what the heck?
because he's living like someone that's making $250,000.
Oh.
So now he has his huge apartment. He got a Tesla. He has a car payment. He has this. He has that. So then, like, it doesn't matter how much money you make. It's how much money you keep.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Is he single or is he married?
He's single.
Okay, so I think so. There's this thing. I don't know. It could be something that can contribute, but I know that on Instagram and stuff like that, there's always this there's this notion of like you gotta have if you want to get females, you gotta have the car, you gotta have the house, you gotta have this, you gotta have that. And really, I mean, there's certain things that you do have to have in order to attain or retain. You gotta have a good job and stuff like that, ambition. But there's this thing on social media where it's like you're always trying to keep up. It's no longer keeping up with the
Kardashians.
Jones is keeping up with the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? So it's always like
I missed that show.
It's always like trying to like find the best new thing, and you get the nice watch, you get the nice car, you get the nice house because you're trying to get females. But there's other ways to do it, so without having to.
Well, like Instagram's a highlight reel, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a place where people go, and no one's gonna put like, "Damn, I'm going through a divorce today." Like, here I'm living in like my parents' house again. Here's a picture of my mom's cat. Like, you're not gonna put stuff like that out online, and it's cool. Like I think it's cool. Like Instagram's fine. It's just take it with a grain of salt. Like, people are gonna show you like when they're living their best life. It's all good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But it's at the same time, it's like, what are you sacrificing to live this lifestyle? It's family time. Like, let's say you do have a family. Like, do you need to have like a brand new car? Like you have a good running Honda Civic. Like, do you need to get the Challenger now, or do you need to get the Charger? Like, is that gonna you know what I'm saying? Do you need that $600 car payment with like $250 insurance or whatever? Like, or some people get these great jobs but they still don't have the credit. Like why don't we talk about building credit, building revenue, like
financial literacy for sure.
What holds a higher power, like money or a credit score? Like, well,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you have to and this is like literally stuff that I'm learning through other podcasts.
No, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, life's about learning, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, like like it's just doing your own research, figuring out what works for you, and also like spending time with your family is important.
Yeah.
It's just as important as making that dollar bill.
Mm.
You know, having time for yourself. You know,
Yeah.
having time to relax for yourself too. Like you can't. It's like I said, there needs to be a balance. And some people just are over here, and their kids aren't. They're not seeing their kids grow or whatever.
Yeah.
They hire an Guadalupe to take care of the kids. You know what I'm saying? So the kids know what Guadalupe
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I think it comes down to values. I feel like I see where you guys are coming from. Definitely, like the work-life balance.
Hard.
Yeah, and I feel it. I feel like there's not a whole lot of time in the day, but I'm like an in-betweener. You know, like I guess because I don't have that luxury of living with my daughter. So I have a lot of free time. So for me, I like working a whole bunch. But I think when it comes down to like family and stuff, like when you actually have a family or you're married and you want to spend time with each other, I think that's a whole different life that I couldn't relate. But I guess I think as a single dude, I feel like I'm able to. I like that I'm busy a whole lot because I get points where I'm hella bored. Like I don't know what to do. Like I'm literally just sitting here doing nothing. So I'm like, nah, man, I gotta go do something or try to make money or something. So, but I guess
The weights.
No, definitely.
No health, no wealth.
I feel it. I agree.
That's another one that I preach, bro. No health, no wealth.
No health, no wealth.
That's a big one, man.
2/3 of Americans are overweight or obese.
You're looking at one right here.
No, but I think that's.
Shout out, respect, man.
So I think that's we were talking about health and the importance of health, and men, I don't know. That's a tough one. Why do men not go to the doctor?
I think it's more of a macho thing.
Yeah.
And it's also like, do I take time off? Another thing, do I take time off work to go to the doctor?
Ooh, yeah. I didn't think about that actually. Yeah. Because for me, it's like I'm trying to be at work the whole time. But yeah, like
a lot of Latinos, they go out and work 2 jobs and they're just trying to survive. So it's like to take time off could be the difference between like not having a house or not having a meal.
But also, like, do they put themselves at this, like you said, this flex culture or whatever that we're talking about is like they're working 2-3 jobs sometimes to have that brand new truck, La Mamalona or whatever. They're flexing this big old truck. And,
check me out, y'all.
Their fucking car payment is as much as their rent. And it's like, damn, bro, like you don't need that, bro. That's that's another thing is like you're doing all of this, and then like what happens if you get sick, bro? What happens if you get sick? Like that's another thing. Like what happens? Who's gonna take care of you? Who's gonna take care of your family? Who's gonna take care of your rent? Who's gonna take care of that fucking car payment?
Yeah.
Or your mortgage. Like, let's say you do have a house, and like, man, who's gonna take care of your mortgage? Or that's your,
you behind rent.
At the end of the day, your family will take you back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, worst comes to worst. Like, as much as sometimes family isn't supportive, like they are supportive in certain things, and I think everyone would always go back.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is go back home to your mom and dad, right?
Yeah.
But it's like that support is there.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No one wants to do that.
Like that's that back, huh?
But I think what happens is sometimes you're so caught up in just like living living day by day, so you don't think, oh, maybe I should go see a doctor or whatever. So you're just so used to just working 16 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, you got me thinking like, man, I just think about it,
You're right. If you get sick just once, that could be a whole week, and that could be a whole.
That's
you guys
pretty cool.
remember David Apodaca?
Oh yeah.
You guys know he passed away last year.
Oh
from
shit.
testicular cancer. Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
You started a
peace.
sports podcast too. Yeah, it's like things like that, you know, like these things happen, you know, your life could change. Like, you know, he was diagnosed, like, let's say 2 weeks ago, and like he died today.
Yeah.
You know, it was like that quick, and it's like these are the things that affect me, bro. Like, even though I didn't talk to him anymore or anything like that, but it affects me in a way where it's like, damn, bro, like I'm taking care of myself, trying to take care of my health. Like, what, you know, at what point, why do these things happen to people, you know? And it's like, I'm doing so much, like, it could happen to me at any moment, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could be going to the doctor every day.
Yeah.
It could still happen to me, but it's like, but you have to be on top of it. If you find something now, you have a better chance of surviving it. You know, because I was worried about having liver cancer or some shit, you know, for a while, because my liver enzymes were like so like the number you're supposed to be at, it's called your SAT. It's
not the one in high school.
Right? No, not SAT. AST. I'm sorry.
Oh,
AST. The range is 0 to 40 milliliters, and I was at 0 to 40. I was at my worst was 253.
Oh wow.
So the normal range is 0 to 40, I believe.
Oh, dang.
And I had it all the way up to 253.
That's crazy.
So that's another thing. I'm used to look at that number, you know, cholesterol, all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's stuff that we have to just
you gotta address. Yeah. I like how you said, like, we don't want to go because we don't want to hear bad news, but that's the news that we have to hear, regardless of how much it sucks at times.
I wouldn't even think it's bad. I mean, I wouldn't even think it's bad news because you can go, like, let's say you go to the doctor, and what if you have no news? You know, it could be you know,
could be healthy.
You don't even know. But I mean, like you said, it's still worth the checkup because, like you said, you never. If you catch something early on, like you could have like a little mole and you don't even know. It could be skin cancer. You know, and if you catch it right on time, you're good. But if that shit already starts spreading,
I mean, like all this cancer and stuff like that, it's through like your white blood cells and your red blood cells. So if you're fighting off an infection, if something's going on, your white blood cell count, I think, will rise.
Yeah, that's
so then they'll know something's up, and that's when more tests will be done. And then, you know, then you could be like, oh, well, fuck, man, I've got like a lump right here. Like, I didn't really think about it. Like, I have that. Or like, oh, dude, like, I felt something on my nuts. Like, well, you know, is that it? And then, you know, that's how they start breaking you down. I mean, that was happening. I felt like that was what was happening to me when they were making me go every three months. You know, that's also like a mental like thing. You know, it was hard to go through that, but
would it be? Can I ask you this? Would it be like motivation for you to have to change? Like if you're constantly going every 3 months, right? But you can see that as like, oh man, I'm going every 3 months, or you can say like, man, I'm going 3 months. I hope I'm gonna change this and that. Hopefully, you know, things will get better.
I mean, that's kind of that's the attitude I took. But it's like even like, you know, everyone has their doubts. You can be as positive as you want.
Yeah.
I think there's toxic positivity.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, there's definitely that. Oh, there's definitely
so
that.
Like,
oh yeah.
You know, I don't want to. You know, so like, I gotta learn. You gotta learn to take a loss and know that there could be losses. There could be you could take an L. So it's like, you know, that's always in the back of your mind. And then, you know, and you just address all these issues. Like, so I ended up, I would get these fucking. I'm big. So I went from 315 pounds to 255.
Damn, that's good, man. That's an accomplishment. Wow.
I'm still working on it. I want to go down to like short term 230, long term I want to be like 215.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So you know, I'm pumping iron, I'm lifting weights, but being big, I would wake up in the middle of the night not being able to breathe, bro.
Oh, what the hell?
Covered in sweat.
That's crazy.
Completely. So I was freaking out. Like, I would go to the doctor. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, well, let's do a sleep apnea test on you. And this is another thing that people don't want to do, because you gotta strap a wristwatch onto your wrist that has a microphone that you attach to your chest, and then you turn it on when you go to sleep, and it records you sleep. So then they record every time you stop breathing.
Oh,
so I was basically every hour I would stop breathing 15 times, anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds.
That's crazy.
Just complete like.
What the hell?
And people who snore typically have sleep apnea, especially if they snore loud.
Yeah.
So like
It's very common.
that was scary because I was waking up like sweaty because you're not resting. So another thing is like your brain's not resting, your heart's not resting. And like, how long did I have sleep apnea for? All my 20s? I've always been over 230 pounds.
Oh, what the hell?
And so I addressed that during the pandemic last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been, so I've been using the sleep apnea machine since then. And it's like, I think after once I started using it, I even lost like 10 pounds.
CPAP. You got like a CPAP machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a CPAP, and then my life's good. Life is good, and it's like, do it. Sleep is crucial too.
Dude, you don't even know, like, sleep. Man, we so like, this is part of like the hustle culture, like, oh, you gotta hustle, like you said, like you're talking about, you gotta hustle, you know, go on your grind, this and that. And they're like, yeah, man, I'm not sleeping only. And so people are like, wear that as like a badge of honor, like, yeah, I only got like 3 hours of sleep, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, dude, like, you know how much damage you're doing to your body? Sleep is one of the most important things. Like, sleep is where your body recovers and it helps get rid of some stuff, especially in your brain. There's certain things it gets rid of. People that actually have, there's like a link, there's like a correlation between people have lack of sleep and people who have Alzheimer's. So like, if you can get your sleep in check, it can prevent that, and then like it just prevents all the other like weight gain, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm living proof, and I have family members that I've told like, hey, go get this done, bro. Like, it's gonna change your life, and like,
Yeah.
I will. They never go. They never go. Bro.
Just push it off, yeah.
You know, and it's like I said, like, I'll preach. I ain't gonna make anybody do anything, but because it's on them, they'll have to do everything for themselves, not for their kids, not for anybody. They could say, "Oh, I did this for my kids. I sobered from." At the end of the day, I doubt that they did it for their kids. They did it for themselves.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Damn.
They did it for themselves, for their kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they did it for themselves first, and then they did it for the kids.
I don't know. Maybe that could be, but in most cases that because I've done research too, and like I've TED Talks and all of this stuff, and it's like most people won't do stuff for their kids. Drug addicts or people who have bad health, it's the same thing. It's almost like they go hand in hand too. Like, or like they would rather take a pill than go run. You know, like I don't want to be on. I'm still taking medication. Like all my. This is the first year where the doctor was like, come back next year because all my blood work came out.
Hey, that's good news, man.
So it's like I'm working on it because I don't want to take pills, dude. I'm tired of like I have to take pills in the morning and I have to take pills before I go to bed.
Oh, what
and I have to have this sleep apnea thing. So if I could get down to not taking pills and then putting that sleep apnea and sleeping like a normal human being, like I'll be like happy as hell. Because at this point, it's like I'm worried. I'm going to the gym. I'm doing this not to look good. It's just a plus. It's like if you get a little buff,
Your wife's like, oh yeah, you lost me.
But it's more.
Looking good today.
But it's for health, health reasons. Do that cardio, bro. I think everyone should at least go out for a 30-minute walk 5 times a week. That's the recommended amount of time, 150 minutes a week, just to have like a regular heart, like to keep your heart healthy. For heart health, 30 minutes of like low to moderate cardio, like you don't have to run, but get on a nice power walk for 30 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
150 minutes a week, and you'll probably end up losing weight. Shit, you might put on a little muscle, even just burning a little bit more of that fat away. And just keeping the heart healthy, It's the biggest thing.
Cardiovascular disease is number 1, I think, in both men and women.
Damn.
Well, especially in the United States.
Oh man, the way we eat, super stacked, this and that, gravy.
And people talk about I drink a 0 sugar artificial sweetener. People are talk about how it's worse than regular soda. It's not. It is not. There's all these tests that they ran years ago that said that diet soda is worse than regular soda was a myth. It was a lie. That was a test that was done at like a very low scale.
Oh, okay.
And so you won't if it says if it's working, why are you not doing it? Like if you love soda, I love soda, so I'd rather switch to 0 calorie. And artificial sweeteners don't cause cancer. Like it's been proven. There's many studies, you can look them up. It's like do the artificial sweetener. Like it's gonna you'll get used to it.
Yeah.
It's not the best tasting, but
Yeah.
I think now it's like I'm a junkie. I'm looking for the next 0-calorie drink.
Man, that's dope.
It's like, just take it. Like, do it.
I think there's always people that are always going to try to challenge. There's always going to be people that are going to try to challenge you. They're like, oh, you're doing this. Well, how come you're not doing this? It's like, bro, I'm doing this because this is working for me,
Yeah.
There's always going to have critics in your corner, but it's just how you handle it. And you're handling it like a champ, so I give you props for that.
Man, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's freaking dope.
So I kind of wanted to talk about. I know we were talking about like, I know you wanted to talk about it. We talked about it a little bit over Instagram about like discrimination in the healthcare field, and so we actually had a study. I don't know if I don't have my phone with me. There was a like a longitudinal study of like 900 people, right? And they were Latinos, and 20% of them felt that they were discriminated against. They were calling them. This was like a survey. So 20%, 1 in 5, felt like they were getting discriminated against. And then 1 in, what was it, like 19% of them, on top of that, they don't want to go to the doctor for some reason or another. So you have this percentage, you're almost talking about 40% of like Latinos not going to the doctor or feeling discriminated against. So I'm just kind of curious to see or hear your story or what you think about that.
I mean, I think that that could be a big issue as well as why people don't go to the doctor. If that's the case, if this is with this study that you just mentioned. But it's like, why are people not getting the help that they deserve in the healthcare field or whatever? Like going. Why are you being discriminated if you're like feeling sick?
Yeah.
Why it's still like. Confuses me because it's like you swore an oath to protect people when you're a doctor or a nurse. I mean, I don't know about nurses, but you're there to help people. You should be there to help people, not to make money. So it's like, or if you are making money, like know that you need to help whoever's on, there to ask for help. Discrimination happens like more often than we think, and sometimes we don't even recognize that it's happening to us.
Good point.
Yeah.
Growing up Latino, like I wouldn't, you don't pick up on certain things people do, even ways people talk to you. Like it still happens now, or like I work with a bunch of Latinos too, and it's like the way they'll talk to you. It's almost like they'll speak to you in English with like a little bit of they try to do like a Spanish accent or something. I don't know if have you guys ever experienced that?
Oh, what the heck?
When a white person or will try to talk to you and like they know that you don't speak the language, so they're like try to speak to you in English with a little bit slower and kind of like.
Oh, what the hell?
And
shit.
and I guarantee you've never noticed it before.
It's like they're like, do you understand what I'm
like,
saying?
And it's like, does that make someone
what the hell?
at the doctors feel like they're not being treated well when that happens to them?
Oh, what the fuck?
When you have a nurse or like a secretary that's speaking to you like you're dumb, you know what I'm saying, or something like that.
Yeah,
Damn.
I mean, I think what would help a lot would be having more Latinos in the healthcare field, because when I don't really see when I go to like the healthcare field, I mean I do see some, but I don't see like as many. I see a lot of like Filipinos, like Asians and stuff like that, Indians. I see a lot more of them going to healthcare. White people, I see a lot of them, but I don't really see like Latinos. I don't see a Cuban or a Mexican or I don't really see like that. So I think if they would have that person out there, I think a lot more people would go, because they would feel represented, and then they would feel that they can actually talk to somebody. Because the big thing in the Latino community, you can always correct me if I'm wrong, but if you speak Spanish, man, it's like wow, you actually understand me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see somebody
I
dealing with
grew
it.
up, bro, translating my mom's immigration paperwork at 10 years old, trying to figure out what this paper means. And it's like, I know that word, I know that. It's like, well, this kind of means that. And so my whole life has been like, hey, can you go
Yeah.
translate, or like, oh, talk to this, or you would go to the store,
Yeah.
you go to customer service, well, you're the one that's showing face, or like, you know, it's like your parents would want a refund for something, and like you're kind of like, you're young, you don't know, you're kind of embarrassed to like ask. It's like you have to like be the person that translates, or like, oh, could you call like, or like call like whoever, whatever credit card company or anything like that. It would be super sensitive, like stuff. And the people would like be on the phone and be like, well, like, you know, I kind of need to talk to your mom. It's like just as long as she says like hi or something like that to me now.
Yeah, at least she's there.
And it's like, you know, and it's like that's how I grew up, is translating. And I would help. I would help as much as I could. I mean, growing up, I also went to Monument Crisis Center.
Okay.
You guys know that?
It moved though, right? Yeah, it moved.
And we used to get help from them.
Oh, cool.
Growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't grow up with a ton of cash either. Like, you know what I'm saying? My dad worked forever. We needed help. We got the help that we needed, and I felt like I needed to give it back. I actually got a certificate for the amount of hours that I worked there.
Damn.
And I went there like almost 3 or 4 years. Like, I would go after school and just help with whatever they needed, and I would translate for people. Some people would come in and like, you know, there's a lot of the people who organize these things are white people, so they want Latinos in there. They want people to translate. Like, I was doing all that stuff for free, you know.
Damn, that's dope.
Because like they would give Christmas presents too. So then, you know, you would help fill out applications for the Christmas presents for people and all of this stuff. And so it's like, you know, being a translator is, you know, and it's like I never got a degree for it.
But it probably takes you a lot, you know, having that second language, and you know, in a country where like Hispanic population is like one of the second or third most growing populations in the United States, it's gonna open a lot of doors for you, you know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Having that bilingual, you know.
Because I had seen a video, and that was the main issue also, that a lot of Latinos, they're giving all these documents when they go like visit a doctor, and they don't even know how to read it. So it's like, you're giving me a paper to read that I don't even understand, and it's like messing them up as well.
Well, it's like, why? So you were saying that why isn't there more Latinos working in the healthcare field, or just going to college in general? And I think, like, for me, like, it was a lack of like knowledge. Like, I was the first one to graduate high school. I didn't know about anything. College, I didn't know there was like my wife's a high school counselor.
Oh, nice.
You know, and she kind of put me on to like a lot of things that I didn't know, even to this day. You know, she always tells me like there's so much help. You know, there's always been this, there's always been that, and like it's like I wish I would have known that in high school, or taken that more seriously, or gone and talked to a counselor. I don't know if you guys ever did. You guys ever talk to a counselor?
Hell no.
Yeah, I did.
Right?
I did. I think it was, and shout out to all the counselors out there.
Yeah.
They I know they bust their ass off to make sure that the kids, you know, they want to have.
Respect.
Yeah, they bust their ass off. They work tirelessly day in and day out. They want to make, you know, they want to help you, but they're also kind of in this awkward situation because you're young and like. I mean, like, are you supposed to know what you want to do for the rest of your life at 16, 17, 18 years old? I mean, you know, it's a very difficult crossroads to be. But they you know, they try their best. They pull the resources. They go online. They try to figure out everything. And
so like right now, 1 out of 3 Latinos went and talked to a counselor in this room.
Yeah.
So it's like there's more. There needs to be. And it's like, it's not, is it our parents' fault? I don't think so, because they're first generation.
They didn't even know, they didn't even know. I don't even blame them for that. Nah, they didn't even know.
You can't, I mean, you could blame certain things, but not everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I think with, especially like first generation, it could go either of 2 ways. It could be your family really wants you to go to college, and they focus on you getting an education, or they focus on you working.
Yeah, it's either one.
That's a good point.
So for me, it was like I didn't get the support that I wanted to go to college.
Oh,
so my dad's like, you could work and do both. You could do this, you could do that. And I tried to work and do both. But it's like, so-and-so is doing, because I worked at a restaurant for a while too. It's like, so-and-so is doing it. Like, why can't you do it? I was like, Pop, I can do it. I can work and go to college. But I'm also paying half the rent with you, half the bills with you. Is like, what does that leave me with?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
damn, man.
There's no support.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't live here for free, can I? And he was like, no.
Yeah.
So it's like,
These were
we
my
have,
choices.
we,
This is what I had
we all
to do.
have, we all grow up differently.
Yeah.
Different opportunities, and that's just life.
Yeah,
It's
it is how it is.
But
Yeah.
how can things get? I think counselors
Mhm.
are huge, and having someone of color in as a counselor also helps, because you're seeing someone that looks just like you. It's like, all right, this girl, she's brown, I'm brown, she's speaking Spanish, like, I'm gonna go talk to her. And that's how it is. Or like, or even in the black community, like you see a black counselor, like you're more attracted to go to them than like, Miss Johnson. You know what I'm
Who
saying?
you-
So,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Who you feel might not be there for you as you want them to.
Yeah.
You feel more understood, I think, is the thing.
Oh yeah.
You know what
Understood.
I'm saying? And that's a big, if you have somebody who's Latino, then they're already had that life experience. You don't really think about that, but it's you kind of do. They already kind of have like a roadmap.
Yeah, exactly. A good mentor.
Yeah, yeah. And like when you see somebody that looks like you, you're more likely to just go out there and just take the shot,
Yeah.
Versus like somebody who looks way different. It's like,
Yeah, it's like the trust,
Yeah.
There's more trust.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you're right.
And it's from the experience my wife has had. It's also hard to get parents to understand, especially like immigrant parents. To understand like, hey, like this is important and this is important. Because my dad till this day thinks college isn't important. My little brother is in middle school, and I'm doing my best to try to guide him for a better future. And it's like, my dad's like, you're putting too much pressure. I was like, it's not pressure. I was like, it's just, I want him to talk to us. I want him to talk.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I was like, I got bad grades. And I let my brother know. I was like, if you got bad grades, like, it's cool, bro. I just want to know, how can we improve this? I'm not here to yell at you. I was like, so I take him out once a week. We go and get dinner.
That's dope.
We shoot shit, talk, kick
Yeah.
it, and it's like, I was like, what's up, bro?
Yeah, that's
like,
a cool brother, man. Right on.
how are you? Like, what? Talk to me. Like, what's going on? Like, do you need help with anything? How are your grades? Like, and it's like, my dad was kind of thinking like I was putting pressure on him. Like, I want him to get good grades, and like his reward was going out to eat with me. I'm like, that's not it.
What the
That's
heck?
not it.
That's not even close. What the
And it's
hell?
like these are the type of things that that mentality that it's hard to break. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Along with other things.
Yeah.
No, but
I
I mean,
feel you.
that's really good that you're doing that, because when your brother grows up, when he becomes older, maybe 10, 20 years in the line, he might not think about it right now because he's still young.
I can understand.
But he's gonna reflect on those moments and be like, wow, my older brother took me out. He understood me. He took, he did all this stuff, and I'm really glad that I had an older brother like that, because and I'm speaking like if I was him, right?
Yeah.
Because then now I made this X, Y, and Z, and that's got me to where I needed to go. You know what I'm saying? Because you paved the way, right?
I'm trying. I'm trying to
That's
have.
cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what sometimes parents don't understand is like, you should want better than what your kids have, or, better than what you have for your kids. And it's like I'm kind of seeing it like I want better for my brother than me.
Yeah.
It's like I want him to do better than but also let him know like what I'm doing right now isn't bad. Like I took on trade, like it's still perfectly good.
Cool.
But I just want to make sure that he's educated in something. Whether he wants to go to DVC, then go to a 4-year, go straight to a 4-year, or he wants to go into a trade. Like it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's whatever he wants to do.
Or take a break in between from high school to.
Yeah, but I just know that break sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
And a long break, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy. You know what I'm saying?
I think I did like 2 years. But yeah.
I guess sometimes, like, for me, I think I wish I would have took a break between high school and college and, like volunteered or something to kind of open my eyes, because I think there's value in that, too. Like, I don't mean, like, I think it's what you do in that break more than the break itself, right? So if you were to go out there and, you know what I'm saying, volunteer or do some other stuff, you can kind of, like, you never know, maybe that one day you volunteer and that person that you kept in contact gets you a job opportunity or something like that, I don't know, it's just...
No, it depends. Yeah, like you said, it depends on what you do with it. Like, for myself, I didn't... I enjoyed those 2 years that I didn't go to college. I was getting drunk and enjoying my life.
Yeah, I'm saying.
But it was...
Raves, partying.
Yeah, but it was just like to go back but I like the way you say it. It depends what you do on your break. I don't know. For me, I always feel like going to college right after school is a cool thing. Taking a break is also a cool thing. I always feel like it's always up to the person you're talking to. You know, as long as we give them guidance, which I appreciate you do, and I really think that older brothers get, how do you say it? Underappreciated. That's what I think. So I really think so, because like it's like, oh, it's like, what are you doing? But like you don't understand what I'm doing, because like I feel like my older brother, like he's older brother, and his name's Juan. Shout out my brother Juan. Like, to me, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be who I am today, in the sense of like just my character, who I am today, and you know, and trying to be a cool person, and trying to have a good time. Like I tell him all the time, you know, like I tell him all the time, like, thank you, like I really appreciate it, you know, like I tell him all the time. I know he doesn't care, but I always tell him all the time, you know, and it's just like they're really underappreciated. So shout out to all the older brothers, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So right on, that's cool that you did, man. Right on, like damn.
All you can do is try, you know. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Just guide.
And I mean, the way I'm talking to you guys now is definitely not my mentality how it was even like 4 years ago. You know,
I feel you.
It's like the maturity, like the way I've matured, has been like, I mean, even I notice, like, holy shit, like, look where I'm at, like, fuck, you know, look what I'm doing, and it's like,
How does it feel though? How does it feel to reflect after all that time, just to be like?
it's just like,
Because I do that a lot. Like I like reflect. Like I don't do it as often. Fabian, thank you. Sometimes he reminds me of like, because you know, like he reminds me of a lot of stuff that I've done. So I appreciate that.
it makes me appreciate what I have now, and like, just like how hard, you know, you fight to get what you want.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and it's not like, oh, it's just one battle, man. It's like, you know,
Every day.
And the thing is, like, we grow and we don't realize like how we're growing, and we still have a lot more to go.
Hell yeah.
You know, there's certain people that are still doing the same old shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's good, you know, they'll find their way. You know, like I said, there's no timeline. You know, there's no timeline for marriage. There's no timeline for children. When it happens, like, it's cool. Like, there's no right or wrong way. You know,
Yeah.
it's just life is life, and you gotta life. You gotta figure it out.
Yeah, I like that.
You gotta figure it out on your own, and yeah, it's just makes you appreciate everything. And then, like, you know, like with my wife, like when I first started, because I had stopped drinking, and I would go to family functions, and like I wouldn't drink, and then they knew that this was happening. And when I started dating my wife, it's almost like they thought like that I would stop drinking because she doesn't drink, or because of her, when in reality it's like that's not what it is. And so, like, that's how families kind of like.
I'm just hearing. I'm just hearing you like.
You already know what it is.
I can stop. Yeah. I feel like.
Yeah, you know, and it's like.
I just want to better my life. Like.
And you know, the pandemic really helped me. Also, I think the pandemic really helped me mature and realize a lot of things with. Especially because we got married during the pandemic.
Oh,
you know?
congrats! Yeah.
So,
congrats. Hell yeah.
Earlier this year, and we were gonna have a wedding. So we had planned to do a wedding, and I got engaged 2019, like February 2019, and you know, we were planning a wedding, getting money together, and doing a down payment on a wedding package at this like place in Petaluma.
Oh, nice.
And it's like the pandemic started happening, and we were going to meetings and figuring out how much we were gonna give. Like, we were ready to shoot, but they kept on saying like, well, yeah, you know, it's like if the pandemic happens, we'll just keep on pushing the date back. And I just didn't want to put money into something that's not secure. So we ended up doing a wedding with just our family at my in-laws' house.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
You know,
Yeah.
during the pandemic, everyone was, you know, it was just, I wasn't gonna have too many friends. Just had like a couple of my friends and like my best man and stuff. And same thing with my wife, just like her best friend and then my family. Well, like, you know, when you have these things, when you don't, what I realized is that people aren't gonna be there for you when you think that they will be
Ooh, wow.
when it doesn't have anything that benefits them.
Oh wow.
So I told them, like, I'm not having a big wedding. I'm doing this and that. It's just gonna be at the house. I'm gonna have some tamales. We're gonna kick it. Like, we're getting married through Zoom. We're gonna put the screen up on, on the TV so everyone can see.
Man, creative.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But when you don't have alcohol, when you don't have a buffet dinner, when you don't have a banda, when you don't have live music and a DJ, it shows people's true colors, not only friends but family.
Damn. What was it like?
So-
Was it like SpongeBob? Like, alright, I'm gonna head out.
Certain families, I'm not gonna say who, but certain
Nah, yeah,
family just didn't show up.
Oh.
You know, in my biggest moment in my life, my best man didn't show up. And the thing is, our whole plan was we were getting married in,
I'm like,
we're getting married, and then in the afternoon we were supposed to do a photo shoot in the city at Baker Beach. Well, it ended up raining that day, so
Oh,
I
snap.
called everyone up. Let everybody know like a week ahead. Like, hey, it says that there's gonna be rain. We're just gonna cancel the photo shoot, slide through to the house, and then one of my buddies was like, well, from the beginning he couldn't go to the wedding,
recital?
the actual, not the reception, the actual, like, when we were gonna get wed or whatever.
Oh, the
On
church.
Zoom.
oh,
Yeah,
like
Zoom.
the church and everything.
He could only go to the photo shoot, so he couldn't make it. And then I told him, he let me know ahead of time. He's like, hey, I won't be able to make it because I was only gonna be able to make it to the photo shoot. I was like, it's all good. Like, when people let me know they're not gonna come, like, cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then my other good friend of mine that I considered that I thought was a good friend, messaged him like, hey, like, this is happening. Like, we're only gonna do this. I was like, hey, are you still down to come tomorrow? No, nothing. Phone calls ignored, nothing. And so, certain family didn't come through, like, at all. Nothing, no call, no show. So that happened. Like, the people that were there, and, like, I thank them, and
Hell yeah.
those are the people that care about you, right?
Yep.
But then we had a photo shoot in May. I wanted my whole family to be there. The same people that didn't show up to the reception or to the, just the little Zoom wedding.
Yeah.
On the way to the city, my cousin, well, now I ruined it. My cousin, he hits me up and it's like, I have a lot of family, so he hits me up and it was like, hey, like, we have certain people over at the house, so we're not gonna make it. So it's like,
Oh wait, what the hell?
yeah, so they didn't come again. So it's like, you distance yourself from those situations. You distance yourself from
Yeah, you learn from it for sure.
and it's like family, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard, but it's like it's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah, no, I hear
Because
you.
sometimes we need to respect ourselves even through family.
Yeah.
And don't keep them too close. I don't keep them as close.
Yeah.
I'll still respect. I'll say what's up. Like, I'll be.
Yeah, because
I'll be friendly.
it's not beef. It's just you just know how it is, and
There's,
you're
the
good.
respect isn't the same
Yeah.
respect isn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
So,
agree with you.
and this is like immediate family, bro. Like, this is like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with you, bro.
You
Like,
grew up with that.
no, I'm with you,
they
bro.
didn't
Like,
come. And then, like, and then my boy that was supposed to be my best man starts messaging me. He's like, hey, bro, how's the married life? Like, as if nothing happened. And it's like, I'm not gonna fuck with you, bro. I was like, you can't even say congratulations or nothing. How's the married life? You didn't come. You were the best man, bro.
Damn, you're like,
And so last year really helped me to understand who really fucked with you, bro. Who's really are your friends worth it? Like, you will keep the people that you fuck with heavy, like, close, because the people that show up in those kind of times are the people that really do care.
well, I mean, I'm sorry to. Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to hear that, like, certain people decided to bail, but at the same time, you can kind of see, like, you can see it as a test, and I don't mean it like in a bad way, but you can see, like, the people that actually showed up, those people are gonna be the ones that are gonna, if for whatever reason you lost your house, lost a car, whatever. Those are the people that are gonna help you out. People that didn't show up, they just showed their true colors. Because people, if you really want to show up to something, you will find a way to do it, no matter what. You'll take a bus, a fucking.
Well, it's not like it's a birthday party or a little barbecue, bro.
Yeah.
It was, it was the biggest day of my life. It was the day I got married, and it was like, it's not what we wanted, but we did what we could with what we had, and obviously because of the pandemic, we can't have a big wedding.
By the way, shout out to you for you and your wife, because that's hella cool. I think that was cool. Just shit, if there was a wedding and there was tamales, that's all you got. That's all you got to tell me.
You know what? And it's you know what I'm saying? You don't need to spend, like, you know what? It's like you spend this money on these things. It's like $30,000 for a fucking wedding. Like, that's insane, right?
Yeah.
Like, we were willing to do that for not only them but other people that are there for the alcohol. They're there for the drinking, and they're there for the food. Like, not that drinking alcohol is bad, because like I said, like, I don't drink. I don't care if other people drink. Like, I'm still around it. Like, it doesn't affect me. But it's like, it goes to show, like, if you ain't got this and that, they're not willing to fuck with you.
But I would say your wedding is more unique than the others, because your wedding is actually it's underappreciated, because I would feel like people would more likely get married in their house, but there's this like stigma of like, oh, it has to be like a fucking extravagant, like crazy, you know what I'm saying? But if you think about it, you made a good choice financially and otherwise. Like, you could, all that money that you would have saved, you could put it to like a cool like vacation, put it in a car, or like, you know what I'm saying? So I really mean it. Like, I give you props and your wife props, because that's really unique and creative, and I think we need more of that. We need more of just back to the basics. You know what I'm saying?
You don't need to spend $30,000 on a wedding, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice, but even my wife was like, you know, because when you talk about marriage, I feel like guys don't really dream of having a big wedding, right?
Hell no.
Like, women do, right? Women think of, but it's like, even she realized, like, damn, it's like, I'm so happy that it didn't happen because of all this shit. It's like, you know, and she preaches the same. It's like, think about it. It's like, you'd rather spend $30,000 on people that don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So some people you might not even talk to anymore. You know, some people you might not ever talk to, and then, you know, or some people that, like, just don't really care. You know?
Criticizing you.
That again, like, you know, you do something and people are gonna talk shit no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Damn if I do, damn if I don't.
Especially in Latino.
That's how I see it. That's how I see it.
Yeah. No tienen esto y no tienen otro, you know.
It's a nice wedding, but no tienen elotes.
Keep it lit though. Keep it lit. Sorry. Like, that thing we were gonna do.
It's real though, it's real.
That package that we were gonna get is nice, and I think it people who do want to do it need to figure out like what they really want to do with their money, because in this place we went to, you get a wedding planner that keeps you on schedule. They take care of the food for you. They do everything for you so you can enjoy the time with your family. So that was huge. Like, that's what I really liked about it. Is that what happens when we go to quinceañeras or bautizos or weddings or whatever, you have las tias, your grandma, your mom, they're in the kitchen, they're fixing everything up, they're serving plates, they're going crazy, and they're not enjoying 1 minute of the actual wedding.
Oh wow!
Right?
Oh wow! Yeah! Oh, wow.
And so we need to normalize shit like this. Like, you don't need to have everyone fucking, you know, you'll end up spending about the same amount of money. Yeah, you gotta invite less people because it's per plate. If you want to invite 300 people, you're gonna spend like $100,000.
Yeah.
But if you invite like it's like 100, I think it was like 150 people, it was like $30,000.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fucking money.
And there's a lot of people.
Still a shitload of money.
Still a lot of people.
But even if you do it through a different, where you have to get everything yourself, it ends up being about the same.
Yeah.
It ends up being about the same. And then when you spend it with a company like this, or because there's a bunch of these places now. Now I don't know if it's more of like an American culture type thing, but we need to make it more normal for Latin people to do this, because you spend more time with your family in that wedding, because you don't have to worry about anything. They take care of everything for you. So it's like, you know, it's also like you got to see that, and it's like, you know, we didn't get to actually do it, but on paper it seems like a really good thing, and I think it's something really cool that you don't have to have your grandma back there serving rice and beans and birria, you know what I'm saying? They have someone doing that shit for you, you know what I'm saying? So it's,
I think that's cool. I think what's really cool about that is that the fact that you're actually gonna spend time with your family and stuff like that. Usually, like you said, like if it's like really low budget, yeah, you know, you have to kind of do that. But yeah, man, I used to work for catering companies, and man, they make a lot of money, but they kind of you know, I'll probably shoot myself in the foot, but they do overcharge, like because they're paying their employees and all their fees and stuff like that. You can find something that's smaller, more intimate, more. It seems like more like when you're like for example, yours was like in your was it your grandma's house?
My in-laws.
Your in-laws' house. So it was more. You probably enjoyed it more because it's a smaller community versus all these people. And then you gotta say hi to them, and you don't really know them. Yeah, you don't really care about.
Small talk.
Yeah, that cousin that you talk to twice.
Or people you don't even fucking know sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when you have those weddings where like it's like a free for all. Like we've all been to those weddings.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, like we're going to a wedding. You want to come? It's like, who's wedding? Like so and so. I was like, oh, I think I met them once before.
Oh yeah.
And we ended up going, and it's like. You know, we're just at these people's weddings and they're perfectly okay with it, but it's like they don't know us. And you're saying, like, oh yeah, hi, how are you? And it's like, hey, what's up? And it's like, you know, they don't say anything. Yeah, and it's like, you know, those types of things happen. And it's like,
Oh yeah.
Can I ask you how did you know that your wife was somebody that you wanted to spend the rest of your life?
Who was the one?
so, like I said, I was fixing my health. I was getting everything together in my life, and she was. We just kind of had. I had gotten everything out the way in my 20s, where I was partying and all that, and I was ready for something. Like I went through a really hard reflection year, where I just felt like I needed someone to love me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was hard, and so it's like I went on Bumble to just.
Shoot the shit.
Kill time, bro. I was just like, I didn't know what I wanted. I was like in a rough, you know, I was like quitting this, quitting that. I was just like, I didn't know what to do with my life. Like, you know, it's like I was like, you know, I know I need to work, but like, what else? What's the meaning of this? You know, why am I?
Yeah, I feel like you get to a point like that. I feel
It's like
like
I want kids. Like I do want kids. I want to, you know, I want to like keep the family going. You know, and it's like you find someone and like it's. Just happens, bro. It's like light. Like you don't know when it's gonna happen. You just have to. I don't want to say trust the process because it's not really a process. It's just life.
You just go with the
like,
flow.
it just happened, bro. Like we met up. We liked each other. I had this, you know, idea of like, you know, we had the same ideas. We had the same type of goals.
Oh shit!
Like we realized that we had a lot of things that we wanted to do in the future together.
Oh wow.
That were the same, and it's like the relationship now between my other relationships or hookups or anything like that is that. I had a clear mind. My mind was clear. I had goals, and I knew what I wanted. And then she had the exact same thing. She was just finishing up school. She was gonna, you know, it took her 2 years to find the job. You know, luckily she found it here in Concord. And so it's like things are just they just kind of like blocks falling into place.
Damn,
You know, it's like I wasn't. You know, it's not like it's like I was looking, but I wasn't. I was just kind of there to feel it out, and it's. I don't know. It's hard to explain. You just end up spending time with someone, and it's also like, I mean, it's not fucking what's it called, like sunshine and rainbows. Everyone has problems. Everyone has issues. There's no perfect relationship.
Yeah, no.
Like ever, anyone. I don't care who you are, what you do,
for sure.
anything. Like everyone has problems, but it's like, how do you deal with these with issues?
Yeah.
So it's also kind of like knowing myself, like. What kind of working on yourself first, and then so that was huge for me. Is that year before I met her was a huge year for me to try to figure out what I wanted and who I wanted to be, and like what issues do I have.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like my body didn't feel like completely fucking clear until about 6 or 8 months after I stopped like drinking and partying.
Oh, sick.
Like I just like I knew things were getting better, but like my mind just still felt really. Foggy, like if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
I didn't feel 100% there. Yeah. Because like, and so it's just for us, it was that just having the same goals, knowing what we wanted, and like agreeing with a lot of the same things. Of course, there's gonna be differences, but that's with any relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just learning how to talk
Yeah.
is hard.
Yeah, communicate.
Learning to communicate
Yeah.
and learning to fucking take criticism, bro. Like learning, like you're not gonna be right 100% of the time, and you do have issues. And that's every one of us.
Yeah.
You, your neighbor, me. We all have our problems, and it's hard when people tell you what's wrong with you, but you have to take it as a learning experience and accept the criticism and reflect on it. Because if you act on it and you lash out, that's when problems. You create problems.
We call it beta.
I believe that like everybody comes in your life for a reason, either to teach you, to make you realize something, or whatever. Right? I always feel like everybody counts for a reason. So.
You know, it's funny that you're talking about like relationships and stuff like that. I was listening to this book called "What Makes Love Last" by Dr. Gottman, and he has a love lab in like Seattle. And so what he does, he has it's like a lab, but it's really like it's like a setup of an apartment. And it says go, and it says you guys whatever you guys need to argue. And he analyzes how people argue, because if someone says they don't argue, they're lying out of their teeth. You know what I'm saying? 100%. If a couple says they're not arguing, they're lying. So he analyzes not what they argue, but how they argue, and he can predict with like 90% or 95% like accuracy which couples will last and which couples won't, just by how you argue. How you argue is like how like do you listen to each other? Do you communicate well? Or do you attack the person or do you attack the idea? Are you talking about the same thing? Do you listen to each other? So I think it's really important to understand like the importance of do not argue, because I feel like sometimes people are like, no, the good relationships you don't argue. No,
it's not true.
It's how you argue and how you come together and always like seeking the person.
100%. I believe that.
I mean, I don't know.
That's exactly how it is, and it's not easy, man. It's not easy, and everyone still has stuff to work on, and so every relationship isn't perfect, like I said. So it's I'm not gonna say I have like I love my wife and we're happy and we're together, and yeah, sometimes we do have not arguments, but it's like differences, and it's like we're talking right now. It's just how you and I are speaking. That's how we talk about our problems or anything that is like. Sometimes things do get heated depending on what it is, but it's like we're talking.
Yeah.
We're not screaming. We're not yelling at each other. There's not like plates
getting thrown.
Yeah, no, none of that shit. You know, and it's also like what has helped me is also just let them talk. Just quiet. Just if she has something to say, just be quiet. Learn to let each other talk. So that's helped a lot, and that I think that's a problem too, is that you can't talk over people. And that's not only in that, that's like in everything.
Damn.
You know, it's like slow down. Try to like slow down a little bit with everything, and like I said, like reflect.
Damn.
I think that's really cool that you guys have a way to communicate, you know, because what's usually seen like on TV and stuff like that is like over dramatized, like you fucking man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, there's people that do live like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
they're addicted to drama and shit.
Like the neighbors next door, they're yellers, they're screamers, they are the people throwing the plates and shit. But it's like the cops have been over there. Like, there's people that still live that life. You know, and those people are older than we are.
Oh wow.
So it's like, you know,
you guys won.
There's people. I mean, like
in the sense of like,
no, you know, it is what it is. Like we can't tell people how to live their lives. You know.
But you guys won. I'm sorry to cut you out. I mean, you guys won in the sense that you found a way to be able to lash out the problem without lashing out on the person. And I think the important thing is to look at, you know, when you're talking about differences of ideas, to look at the idea, not the person, because the person's going to be inherently flawed, and the person has nothing to do with the argument. It's the idea, right?
And it's and it goes back to mental health, bro. Like, I think seeing a therapist, anyone, I think everyone, even when things are going good, like, you know, like my wife's got a degree in psychology, so she went to therapy to see how it was. She was like, I want to see what it's like because it's like I'm gonna be doing it. So what's it like? And it's this is how we live our lives. Like you might not need to go to therapy every day, but just sometimes it's nice to have an open conversation with someone, and that has no relation to you.
Yeah.
But sometimes speaking about your problems with your friends, there's a lot of yes men out there. There's a lot of people that will have your side, and there's a lot of people that are going to tell you what you want to hear. A lot of enablers.
Ooh.
So that's like it's like you have to be careful who you talk to, because some people won't tell it to you straight, and then you might get mad at the people that are. So it's like it's better to and it's not easy talking to a therapist, because they are straight with you too. So it's like you're not gonna like sometimes you're not gonna like what they're gonna tell you, but it's like work on yourself first. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you realize, like, all right, well, I'm this kind of person sometimes, like, I need to start doing, she'll be like, try to do this or try to do that. So it's like, I'm at, just like your physical health, your mental health is just as important.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe mental health is the beginning, the end all. Like, that's where everything starts. And then from there, you just let the tree grow. After that, you kind of branch out.
It's just expensive. If you don't have insurance, it is expensive. So that's like another thing that sucks.
For a therapist?
Yeah.
Therapy's expensive, dude.
Yeah,
but it's true. Like, that's like another thing is that maybe people won't do that or don't take that route, because it's also like burn a hole in their pocket,
Especially if you're seeing them every week or every 2 weeks. It's like every copay, it's...
Yeah, for us, I mean, luckily for our, we have good insurance, so
cool.
It's like, $25 a session. It's not bad.
Oh, yeah.
But some people are paying $200, $150 a session, and like for some people it's worth it.
Yeah.
For other people it's not possible.
Yeah.
And I really like what you said about having that person that's outside of the, I would say, like, if you're in a house, right? They're outside the house and they can see outside looking in.
Yeah.
Because they can see things objectively, that things that you probably are not thinking of, or you can't see. They can see all your blind spots.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to tell you, well, this is what's going on. And just like anything, right? Therapists, you should always shop around for, because some of them are really bad, and there's people that should not be a therapist, and some of them are really good. So you should just don't be afraid.
There's always different options to take. And it doesn't have to be like a couples therapy. It could just be something for yourself. A lot of the time the problems is within us, not within the couple.
Yeah, I also too, like, on the less expensive route, I always say meditation. I feel like that is one of the best things. Some people are like against it, but for myself, because that's what I do. I don't go see it. I think I should, but like I don't go see a therapist, but I feel like I become self-aware of myself and certain things I do, and from that I learned how to like understand why I did certain things. And I mean, also too, like I also watch like psychology stuff for sure, but on the cheaper end, because I feel like most of my education came from YouTube. Shout out YouTube. so like just for anybody out there who like who can't afford a therapist, I would recommend that route as well, for sure. But yeah, let's see what else.
Well, I wanted to talk about one more thing too.
Go ahead.
What about so us as Latinos, right? We're all about working, getting money, right? Saving money, but we save. Not a lot of families save money in cash. But why is it that when we talk about investing money, like 401k or something like that, we're the last people to get in on it? Why are Latinos the last people to get on investing? Why are we the last people to own businesses? We don't know about these things. Like there's more, like the black community's knit tight. They get shit done. Obviously the white people are, monopolies. But it's like Latinos, we're the last ones to invest in stocks. We're the last ones to know about Bitcoin and all these things. We don't want to put money into our 401k because of this and that. There's people that literally think that they're going to the casino with my money type of deal. When we talk about 401ks, and it's like they worry about money now, but they don't want to worry about their future.
So for our generation, I could say that I can't speak for older people, but from what I've seen, our generation, it's always about living in the moment and trying to live your best life. And I'm going to Tulum, I'm going to Spain, I'm going to this. And by the time you do all those travel trips, how are you going to save? You know what I'm saying? It's about living your life through Instagram and living your best life and showing everybody that you're the shit and this and that. For our generation, I could say.
Yeah.
For older generations, I don't know. I don't know if they even know what a 401k is, or I don't even know how investing works. So I don't know if there's an education gap. Because I see a lot of Latinos they'll go to the casinos more than they'll go to a Vanguard or open up a Wealthfront or something. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. But it's like, why does that happen? Why can't we make this a normal thing for Latin people? What, we need to keep. I like to educate all my coworkers on these things, and luckily I work for a company that does seminars about 401k and savings and insurance and all this stuff. But I preach, bro. Like, it's like, you're like, what are you gonna do when you're this age? Like, live off like the shit amount we get from Social Security.
But you're gonna be working at Walmart at fucking 80 years old or what? Like, what kind of life?
Yeah, like my mother-in-law, she worked hard. She grew up with a family that was they're well off, and they educated her very Americanized.
Yeah.
And she knew about all these benefits, and she got, her whole life she got the best insurance she could get at her job, because sometimes they give you like a low, medium, and high, right? So she did that, and then she invested in her 401k and a pension. So she's retired and she's living life good. But there's people that they never put into their 401k. They just chose not to invest any, like maybe for lack of knowledge. But when you do try to educate Latinos, they don't want to hear you. They don't want to hear about the future. All they care about is money now. And it's like first generation or immigrant parents, they don't want to hear about that stuff. They think they're super against it, and it's like, how can we make things better for everyone else? Because I just started investing into 401k like 3 years ago. Because my dad said it was dumb, and like, who do you follow? Like, you follow your parents. So like, and it's like, I'm actually educating my dad now. I brought him to work with me at the place I work at, and so I'm letting him know, like, no, bro. I was like, these are the things that happen when you don't ask questions.
It's definitely. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sometimes when you're older, you think because you're older, you think you know it all because you've experienced so much life. Maybe that's part of the reason, but there's also a lot of like rumors and conspiracies I know in the Latino community. And I understand like some people are not maybe illegal and stuff like that, and so they're more worried about where that money's going versus like, I have money, I pay, I get food, I know where that money went, versus like, I'm gonna put money into a stock, I don't know if it's gonna come back, But I mean, like what you're doing, you're teaching your father what a 401k is, and maybe that's what we need. We need to educate and really pave the path. Like maybe you really shouldn't have maxed out all your credit cards. Maybe you should have a good credit score. Maybe you should invest in certain stocks and bonds. There's benefits to all that, and financial. That's why I call it financial health, because a lot of people don't know how to. You talk about it before. A lot of people don't know what to do with their money. So what they, instead of trying to figure it out, they'll go out and spend. They're more than welcome to spend $1,000 on a vacation or on a concert or on whatever. But that $1,000 could have been $5,000, $10,000 in the future if you would have invested in the right bonds and stocks.
Exactly.
And if you would have invested in an IRA Roth, you pay taxes in the front, you don't pay taxes in the future. So that way when you take the money out, it's all tax free, considering you already paid the taxes in the past.
I mean, these are things that like I'm still getting educated on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still like, but I know that it's there. I know that it exists, and I know that it's good. It's good for I mean, anything could happen. Anything could happen with that money, but for the most part, I've seen people live off it. So why not do it? And it's like it's hard to make people understand. You know, they're stubborn. Latinos are stubborn people, bro. They don't want to change their ways. But we're like I said, we're the last people to do things. We're the last people to know, all of these things, like how to buy a home, how to refinance, how to do this. Like there's just so many things that there's so much government help when you're a first time buyer. Like there's like a lot of things that we don't know, and it's a lot of times because we don't ask. So it's asking questions is cool. Ask. It's the rest of your life. You're putting your money into a house or into this or into that. Ask questions because you don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen with that too. But figure out, if you absolutely at the end of the road you don't think 401k's for you, then I guess it's not for you. But I think to me it's a positive thing.
What's different between you and older generations, I think, is the fact that you are open-minded enough. You'd be like, you know what, I don't know everything, but let me go seek it out.
Yeah.
For them, it's, I'm already this age, I should know everything, and this is how life is, and you know what, if you don't want to follow it, that's fine, but this is how I want to live my life. That's kind of like older generation thinking, like when you get older, your ideas become more concrete, less solid.
Yeah.
But we can try, educate our younger folks. Like you have a younger brother, so when he gets older and he wants to open up a 401k or IRA, Roth or whatever, you can tell him, okay, this is what you need to do. This is where to invest. There's this, and this. This is a robo advisor. This one has less fees. So choose one, whatever you think is easier for you. You can be the light for the future.
That's exactly what I was gonna say as well. We're the ones. Like I feel like I'm not speaking for older generations because they've been richer than I have, so I'm not gonna say all that. But I will say that in my life, I realized kind of. I don't know. I could be wrong. And I'm not trying to disrespect the family, but I did get to a point where I realized that I could have been the black sheep that was gonna be the one who changed how my whole family was. Like I was gonna be the one who was gonna get everybody out of the mud per se.
You could still do that.
Yeah, no, I know. I believe it. I believe it.
There's no, like I said, when it comes to life, bro. There's no start. There's no end. Like things happen when they happen. Like don't worry about I'm 30 and like this and that. Like don't worry about that. Like that. Like age has nothing to do. It's like people say like, oh, once you're 30, like. Your body starts to break down. It's like, what, your body just automatically has a switch. Oh, you're 30. It's time for you to, your body's about it. Like, no. Like, there's a bunch of, things that it's like, we're just conditioned and, we're told, this is how it's supposed to be.
Damn.
That's not true.
Well said, yeah.
There's women, for example, there's this misconception that, in general, right? Women after the age of 35, it is harder, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
There's some women that are they'll start going on dating apps, go crazy. They're 34, oh shit, I better find somebody. And then they find somebody, but they find somebody that doesn't have the same values. And now they're stuck. now they're like, oh shit, now I got a kid, now I got a house, now it's more complicated. It's oh fuck, I'm 36, miserable because I was told. This misconception of oh, you can't have kids after 35.
Yeah, or you have to get married by 30 or something.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I like the way you said that, conditioned. That's one thing I'm big on. I feel like we've been conditioned our whole lives to be a certain way or live a certain way, and that's not how it is.
It's hard to break.
It is, yeah.
I still struggle with it. Everyone struggles with
yeah,
that.
for sure.
It's just when things aren't going your way, you just think negatively, and that's anybody, not just you and me. It's everybody has the same. I feel like we need to relate ourselves to other people and know that we're not alone, and that it's wherever you're going through, I'm guaranteeing you there's people in the past that have gone through the same shit, and there's people in the future that are going to do the same, and we just gotta fight. Keep on pushing forward.
And a lot of them have been successful too. A lot of people have been through a lot of bad traumas through childhood, and they're rich. So that's my motivation. Shit, bro, if they did it, I could do it too.
And we have to think about this, right? We're living in a generation where we're probably way better off than we were 10, 20 years ago. We're not finding, there's more rights, there's more this, and there's less poverty. And people have, in the generation in the past have done it with way less stuff than we have.
Oh, yeah.
We have a bunch of stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I think back then you could get a house and a car with a job at McDonald's. So
Yeah,
that's
the best
thing.
thing.
Is that like yeah, it's like we're making more money, but like
Can't even
Oh,
afford
but
shit.
what I mean by that is we can solve a lot of more problems better if we work together. Because right now, what's happening is a lot of guys are, in general, like a lot of men, instead of like going out on dates and trying to talk to women and trying to level themselves and try to get to that next level, so they can find a wife or a girlfriend. Instead of doing that, they seclude themselves, go into their house, open up their computer, go online, talk to like OnlyFans girls and spend all this money,
that's true.
And seclude themselves from society. Or in this day and age, if anything, we need to be more together because we need to be able to help each other out and be like, dude, you're not alone. Like, we need to help each other out and challenge each other's ideas. And because on YouTube, you have to be careful too, because there's a lot of people that just want to spew very echo chambers and negative shit. And you have to be like,
Could fall in a hole.
yeah, exactly. black pill and all these pills. And yeah, it's all crazy. So that's why we gotta help each other out. And if you're saying I need help, I need to talk to somebody, I'll be like, I'll be there. I'll be here to listen. Just tell me what you need.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I know I don't really have much left. I just have
I know you have there's some other stuff that you want.
Yeah, whatever you got, man. Yeah, whatever you got.
Oh, here's a question.
Yeah, I think we pretty much went through everything.
So now that you're married and stuff like that, now that you have more stability, do you think this life is better than you were single, or do you I mean not better, but like it's different in the sense of like now you have someone to go to, you have a stability, you have a good relationship versus like trying to live your best life and always chasing the rabbit, I guess.
It's just I mean that literally that's all it is different because I mean I love going out and partying. Like that was fun. Like I had a good time. Like it wasn't like I was having a bad time. It was a good time. It's just you grow up, I feel like, or you mature a little bit more, and it's just a different life, and it's just as fun. Like I'm having just as much fun as I did when I was single.
Yeah,
it's just as good. It's just different, Yeah, that's all it is, and it's like what I found fun back then isn't. I'm not saying it's not as fun. It's just I found something like hanging out with my wife and like watching Netflix at the end of the day, or now like I really enjoy going to the gym. Like that's like my thing is like I find time for the gym like 4 times a week to go. So I go, and it's and then I've always loved to cook.
Oh,
so I cook a lot. So like I love cooking. So I pretty much cook almost every day. Well, I'm off work at 1:30, so it's like I go in.
Nice.
Yeah,
hella early sick.
So it's like you find certain things that interest you now. And then with the pandemic, man, it's been just we haven't been able. Like I like going to the beach. I love going to LA. Like I love going to San Diego. Like I like doing stuff. And I feel like we haven't been able to do that. Like we haven't even gone on a honeymoon. And like we want to travel. Like I like going places. I like seeing new places. So it's like it's hard to do like that's what I really want to do, but it's just a different life now. It's just things have changed, and I think it's a positive change. It's just totally different. Like not taking anything away from the guy that still wants to party and be single, like hook up with chicks. Like, that's just as fun, like it's cool. It's just what I find fun now is like. It's like I'm not even a dad yet, but it's like, it's like, I'm doing dad shit now, grilling and shit. I'm looking at the next fucking propane grill. Like, you know, shit, I want the apron right there. Like, that looks cool. You know what I'm saying? And we go, you know, you look at Christmas trees now and it's like, damn, it's like we want a Christmas tree that's still, you know? Or like, oh man, like we want, you know, I want this fucking Ninja like air fryer or something like that. And it's like, you know, instead of like, oh, I want like a new pair of shoes or like I want this, it's like I stopped giving a shit about shoes like completely. I stopped giving, you know, I'd rather spend money on food than a fucking pair of jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, oh man, I'd rather spend $60, you know, on a meal than like $60 on a pair of shoes. So that's like priorities change, you know, things change, you know. It's just different and. Yeah, everything's, but it's to say that I'm having more fun now or more fun back then. I can't tell you that I did. It's just different type of fun. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I just have to enjoy life, man.
Yeah, I don't know. There's these like younger kids that want to get married at 21 and 22. I'm like, bro, I don't know about that. Like, live your life.
Like I said, bro. Like I said, life is life. Like if that's what they want to do, and they're still happy, like. There's nothing wrong with that too. You know?
That's true, but I think like at 21, you haven't really lived like enough life. Like for example, you have to like at least hook up and do some other stuff before you even. I mean, because if you don't, then there's always that like.
I'll have to disagree just because of the fact that what if I don't want to hook up with girls? Like what if I'm just looking for my wife? Like. You know, there's some people that, you know, I respect every religion, but it's like their way of life, their way of life is different than the way I live my life. So it's like, if for them finding the love of their life means they get to have sex finally, then it's, you know, maybe that's how their life is gonna be. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But it's like, even if it's not working out, think of it. I just like to think positivity. It's positive, man. Like. You know, if it doesn't work out, like the good outcome of it is that you get to try again, bro. Rebuild yourself. You know, take care of yourself, and you rebuild again. Like there's always gonna be another opportunity to live life, bro. Like,
Hell yeah.
Like it's like it sucks because like when something does end, you know, you feel like shit. You know, it's like you're in a bad place, but. In a year, you're gonna be like, "Fuck!" I was such a low place in my life, but now it's going. You know, all of a sudden you get this stride, right? And you know, you try to move forward, and like that's how it is. But yeah, I mean, I would like the route that you're taking, where it's like, let's hook up with girls, let's figure life out first before we get married.
Yeah.
But I know it's not like that for everybody. Or there's guys that are clingy, bro.
I guess the reason I say that is because
I was there. I'm just saying I was there.
My thing is like I want to prevent men to go through the hassle. Like they get married, they have a kid with the woman that they may or may not even be compatible with. They just had a few had a few good times, and all of a sudden they're in love. But there's two stages of love. There's the honeymoon phase, then there's the long-term phase.
Yeah.
And the fact that maybe in the honeymoon phase everything works out, but then once you hit like the 2-year mark, the 3-year mark, things start to change. And I don't want, because if a woman like taken to divorce, there's some women that are super vindictive, and there's a lot of guys that would be, they'll get run through the cleaners and they won't have anything in their name. So I guess that's why I say at least have a few years, have fun, and then like.
Well, that's the thing. Like it could happen. Like that could happen to someone that's been together for 10 years. They get married, and on the 12th year they divorce. Like that could happen too. So it's like I said, it's like you just gotta live life. You kind of have to just, if you want to take a shot, you take a shot. Like it is what it is. If it works out, it works out. If not, I mean, like I said, you gotta just keep it pushing, because it could be like, some people are together for 30 years. They get married, and then like for some reason it's like almost like the kiss of death. You know what I'm saying? They get married, and then like a year later they're like divorced. It's like, what the hell? But you were together for 30 years. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just not meant to. Maybe they were gonna get divorced or be separated anyways.
So I definitely see what you're saying, like in the fact that like, you can never really tell what's gonna happen. I think my thing is like when you're older, you're more mature, especially as a guy.
It's true.
Like for me, like the decisions I make now are way better than the decisions I make like 21-year-old or 22-year-old, right? So I feel like I can make better and wiser decisions because I've also gone through life and I've made bad decisions and I've learned from them. Versus like at 21, you're still like a baby. You're still really just figuring life out, falling over, doing whatever. And your 20 or your early 20s are way different than your later 20s because in your early 20s you can feel like you're Superman. You can do whatever the fuck you want. In your later 20s you start feeling a little bit more, Father Time ain't so kind sometimes. You start feeling it a little bit more. So those decisions that you make and the consequences to the decisions, you have more to lose because your money is better. You have a good job. You have a property. A year later than I don't know when you're earlier. I guess that's my thing.
Yeah.
Like you have more to lose when you're like later in life, but your decision making is better.
I agree. That's true.
Earlier in life, then you're just you can fuck up when you're 21 and you're still like.
Well, there's some people that are really mature at 21 or 22 or 25. Like everyone's different too. But for the most part, I mean, the older. I mean, there's some people that are my age right now that are still doing looking around. No hate. I ain't hating, but I mean, the older we get, we should definitely. I'm back to the reflection. We just kind of reflect more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was dope. Oh yeah. I guess I might push it towards the end of this podcast. So we'll just go with the rapid fire questions real quick.
So,
rapid fire questions. Let's go. All right, Efren. What is your favorite color?
black.
Favorite wrestler growing up?
Eddie Guerrero.
Ooh. Dang. Favorite movie?
Damn, there's a lot. I don't know, man. There's so many movies. I really like mafia movies, like Casino. Goodfellas.
Oh, Goodfellas, dope.
Godfather. That's what I'm into right now. I really like that new one, The Irishman.
That's dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. On Netflix, right?
I'm into mafia movies like that. Yeah, that's my shit right there.
Okay. Favorite number?
11.
Oh. I don't think I've ever heard that. Nice. Favorite Bay Area artist or rapper?
That's a hard one. Probably Mac Dre. I mean, I can give you a laundry list.
Yeah, okay.
Nicotina.
E40.
There's just too many to count.
Yeah, feel it.
Messy Marv.
Too Short.
Grew up on Messy Marv. Tough. Mom Figures tough. Jack.
R.I.P.
Yeah, a lot of music. I'm into music stuff too.
Yeah.
I listen to everything. Everything from hip hop to like classic rock to metal. Like I like it all. Mexican music.
That's dope. It's like a whole brand.
Like all that. Like my playlists are crazy.
That'd be dope for a DJ session. And in case anybody wanted to contact you, or maybe if you need any help with financial literacy or anything that they can feel comfortable hitting you up, where can they find you?
Instagram. You can hit me up on Instagram. EfrenG11. It's EFRENG11. And I'm there. If you want to get started on health, whatever, the first step, contacting your doctor, it's just little things like that. If you just need someone to talk to about helping you get sober, whatever, like it's not easy. You're not alone, So if anyone needs a hand, let me know. I'll be there. Because when we first start this, like I went through it by myself. So it's like I was that macho guy that didn't want to talk to anyone. No one wants to be weak. No one wants to be weak, but it's cool. It's cool to ask for help. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, I'm there.
Before we let you go, I have one last question. What does the Bay Area mean to you?
To me, it's like a way of life. It's a culture. It's like it's everything I know. Like I love California. Like I love the Bay Area. Like it's where I grew up. I love going to the city. I love going to Oakland. I grew up going to get tacos in Oakland. I grew up going to fucking first club I went to, fucking City Nights. Like club culture shit. Going to concerts at the Fox Theater. Like it's like that's the Bay Area to me. Growing up has been that, taking Bart to the city, going out to concerts, going out to shows, eating food. Like to me that's what it is. It's just the like way of life. It's there's just so many people. We're like gumbo. There's Filipinos, Samoans, Mexicans. There's a bunch of people everywhere. We grew up in such a great place with like a lot of people. There's a lot of bad in the Bay Area with gentrification and all this shit. But at the end of the day, I feel like we still got to grow up with what the Bay Area truly is about before all this shit.
Damn, hell yeah.
I feel like maybe we're like the last kind of generation where you didn't really see fucking a lot of people, a lot of outsiders walking around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like right before the tech boom, like I feel like we still got to see Oakland the way Oakland was, and the city the way the city was.
Yeah, we had the Hy-Vee movement too.
We still got to experience the culture, and like that's what it is. And I'll stand by that. I think the Bay Area is the best place, or at least before gentrification.
Hell yeah.
If you gentrification.
I know.
Well, I want to say that thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. For real.
Thank you guys for having me.
Means a lot.
Oh yeah, man. You took your time off your day to be with us, and we just want to appreciate you and just say thank you.
Thank you for the
I
support
have a
too.
couple things to say. Hopefully it helps somebody. If it helps one person, to change the life is just knowing that it's possible. And like that's it. That's all I wanted to say. And thanks for letting me use the platform to say what I gotta say.
Hell yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. And you're welcome anytime, brother. You want to come back? It's all good too, man. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. On that note, your boy Fuego is out.
Señor Sonrisa 777.
Peace.
Yeah, buddy.